What's up, curl friends? It is Dr. Crystal Cunningham, clinical pharmacist, transformational curl care specialist, and the founder of Bold's Culture Beauty. Here today to help you identify more strategies to help you save time, build confidence, and make natural hair care easy. Now, today's topic is really important because I think a lot of times, we find ourselves struggling on our natural hair journeys and we're not quite sure what is actually holding us back. And so today I want to have a heart-to-heart with you and really get to the bottom of some things that are causing us to be unsuccessful on our natural journey and things that are hindering us from reaching our natural hair goals. Now, the leading cause of frustration on our natural hair journeys is when we are not able to reach our hair goals. A lot of us have ideals and goals and visions for our natural hair that we have been striving to achieve for quite some time, and when we get to a place or a space where we haven't been able to reach those goals, it is understandably very frustrating. And so I am fully aware that not being able to reach our goals is a leading cause of frustration. But I also want to encourage you and to remind you that struggle is not a given on our natural hair journeys. I think our natural hair journeys have been consistently burdened with struggle, and that has become common. But the good news is that it does not have to be our reality. Struggle is not a given on our natural hair journeys. We do not have to inherently struggle just because we have natural hair. And so today, my goal is to really help you be able to understand and identify some of the things, the key common things that are keeping us from being successful on our natural journey. And now these things are not specific to only one person or specific to a type of people, but these things are the things that I have identified through working with multiple people. These are the things that I have realized that have been a significant hindrance or pain point for a lot of curl friends who are struggling with natural hair. And then I do want to point out that it is completely possible to get to a place where natural hair care is easy. I am proof that it is possible to get to a place with where natural hair care is easy. And then all of my curl friends that I have worked with are also proof as well. And so today my goal is to help you identify some things that may be holding you back or preventing you from being successful on your natural journeys, and then welcome you to the easier side of natural hair care, because I promise when we identify these things, when we address these things, when we create a plan to correct these things, then natural hair care ultimately becomes easier. I also understand that a lot of us, many of us, have inherited a struggle narrative when it comes to natural hair care, and we're not quite sure where it came from, we're not quite sure where it started, but I think if we were honest and intentional about the messages that we've received about natural hair care, then we could probably all agree that no matter when we started, no matter how much we love our natural hair, no matter who influenced us to be natural, we all started our natural journeys with this underlying understanding that struggle was just going to be par for the course, that struggle was going to be a part of our natural journeys, and so we accepted that. Sometimes we may have accepted the message that because our hair isn't silky or shiny, that we can expect to work a little harder, invest a little more time, have to do more things in order to have our hair to be manageable and acceptable. Sometimes we've accepted the narrative that natural hair care requires a certain amount of hours or a certain amount of work in order for us to be successful. And it is this struggle narrative, is this acceptance of these narratives that kind of keeps us in this cycle of frustration where we aren't quite able to reach our goals because we are aligning our understanding of what natural hair care should be and how we should approach natural hair care with this underlying theme that we should be struggling. And the reality is, though sometimes we do struggle, we do not have to struggle. And so if you have been experiencing any kind of struggles with dryness, length retention, creating longevity in your styles, today I want to help you get to a place where you can really understand what is actually hindering you from being successful so that you can create an intentional plan to get to a place where you are more comfortable and confident with your natural hair and where natural hair care ultimately becomes easy. So before we get into this list of things that are holding us back, if you don't take anything else away from what I'm saying today, please, please, please remember that struggle is not a given on our natural hair journeys. And by the end of this discussion, I'm actually going to help you identify some things that are causing you to continue to struggle and to continue to be frustrated. And if you identify these things and make a plan to correct these things or address these things, then overcoming your struggles with dryness, overcoming your struggles with curl definition, overcoming your struggles with longevity in your styles and increased manageability with your hair will ultimately become a thing of the past. So here are a few of the things that cause us to continue to struggle and be frustrated on our natural hair journey. Now, the first thing I'm going to point out is something that I will tell everyone, and that is that we have not embraced our curls. And so usually when I say embrace your curls, people assume I'm saying that we need to love our hair, which we should love our hair. People are assuming that we should be proud to be natural, which we should be proud to be natural. But when I'm saying embracing our curls, it is not just acknowledging that we have natural hair and we accept that it is beautiful in whatever form that it's in. It's not just saying that we love to be natural or that we even chose this route to be natural. It is going beyond that initial love and then really being intentional about understanding our hair. When we have a better understanding of our hair, we can set better goals. We can better identify how our hair should look, feel, and behave. And then we could also be intentional about cultivating an environment that allows our hair to thrive. So embracing our curls is more than just saying we love natural hair. It's more than just saying we are happy to be natural, but it is taking that initial step or that extra step to really go deeper and really identify some key characteristics about your hair, understanding how your environment and your lifestyle affects the way your hair shows up, and then ultimately affects the products that you choose. So one of the number one things that are holding us back is really getting to a place where we can actually embrace our curls and be intentional about understanding them. And when we address this, I think it changes the game for all of us. Now, the next thing is we don't have a effective curl care plan. I think a lot of times in a lot of situations, we bounce from trend to trend to trend, hoping and wishing that one of these things is actually gonna work for us, right? Hoping and wishing that one of these things is gonna be the secret sauce that automatically allows us to have silky, shiny, bouncy hair, that automatically allows us to have curls and styles that last. And the reality is, especially when it comes to trends and fads with natural hair care, that is not usually the case. And so what we need to do is be intentional about cultivating and creating a routine that will allow us to, one, be effective in meeting our hair's needs, and then also encourage us to be consistent when it comes to meeting those needs. And so there's some basic things that we need to do, that we must do, that we should do when it comes to caring for our hair. And if we aren't doing them and we aren't doing them right, then we are not going to be able to get to a place where we have cultivated an environment for our hair to thrive. And we're not going to be able to get to a place where we actually reach our hair goals. Now, other thing that is holding us back is that we're inconsistent. Again, I say that in that hopping to different trends and hopping to different ways to care for our hair, we haven't even pinned down one thing or given something enough time or opportunity to be effective before we move on to something else or before we write that thing off, right? And so our inconsistency is keeping us from getting to a place where we can ultimately enjoy the benefits of the work that we're doing. And even if we have a solid curl care routine, if we're only caring for our hair once a month, if we're continuously wearing protective styles, if we are only addressing our hair's needs infrequently, then we're really not doing our hair the justice, or we're really not doing that curl care routine the justice that it should have in order for us to see the benefits that it could generate. And so when we're pushing that wash day to once a month, it's almost like we have to continuously start over instead of starting from where we are and then building upon that. So just to recap, some of the things that are keeping us from getting to a place where we are successful on our natural journeys, the things that are keeping us in that cycle of struggle or frustration, are we aren't embracing our curls, which is more than just loving them. It also includes being intentional about understanding them. We haven't cultivated a curl care routine that is efficient and effective, and we aren't consistent. And now another thing that kind of leads us down this path of not reaching our hair goals is that our hair isn't healthy. And this one is important because if we haven't done the first three, we're not going to get to this one. So when we haven't embraced our curls, when we don't have a effective curl care routine, when we are inconsistent, then the result of that is going to be unhealthy hair. And so we are trying to create styles, we are trying to create looks, we are trying to do all of these things on hair that is not healthy. And that stems from the fact that we haven't done the necessary work to get our hair to the place where it is healthy. And that includes, as I have already pointed out, that includes embracing your curls, creating an effective curl care routine, and then being consistent. When we can do those things, then we will generate healthy hair. And when we have healthy hair, when we have cultivated an environment that allows our hair to thrive, every other goal literally falls into place. So no matter if dryness is a concern, if length retention is a concern, if longevity in your styles is a concern, if curl definition is a concern, once we get to a place where we can create an environment that allows our hair to thrive and where we make the health of our hair a goal, everything else that you've been struggling with, everything else that you've been desiring to achieve, everything else that is on your list of things to create for your hair will literally fall into place. Y'all, there are a few more things that I would love to point out, but this is my time. So this is a great place to start. If you can focus on these 4 things, you can literally change the game when it comes to natural hair care and achieving your natural hair goals. So identify what is holding you back from being, I have helped you identify what is holding you back from being successful. Now it is up to you to run the play and do the necessary work to get to a place where you can start achieving your hair goals and making natural hair care easy. Listen, if you don't know exactly where to start or exactly what to do, I would love to help you. Visit me in store or online at boldsculture.com. Schedule a discovery call and let's talk about what it actually looks like for you to address these things that are holding you back and then walk them out practically to get to a place where ultimately natural hair care becomes easier. Well guys, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If this resonated with you, bring a curl friend next week, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want the complete list of things that are keeping you from being successful on your natural hair journey, make sure you check out my blog. I will drop the link in the description. And until next week, curl friends, go boldly.